mean, I was
Bro,
jamming. I was jamming.
be jamming every time, man. My mic be muted, you don't know. I'll be over here rocking out. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
Drake is done. Drake is done.
Straight to it, huh? Straight to it.
Straight to it. He's done. He's done.
He's done. He's cooked.
I've heard people say he was done in the past, immediately after the battle. I didn't believe it. That was premature. I've heard people say after the
well done.
whatever he did, the petition, after the petition, he was done. I didn't believe it. After this last move, he's done. He's done. Now he's not done forever, but he is he's on the shelf for a while. He's done as we know him. The elite A-list pop star, hip hop star in music, you know, the hit maker y'all depend on, that's done. That's done as we know it. He's gonna go sit for the next 4 to 7 years. He's gonna go sit. And then he's gonna he's about to go sit for some years, and then afterwards he'll start touring off his old stuff. And he'll be he's gonna be somebody we know is like a C star, and he might work his way back to a B, but the days of being A is done. That's my
a serious call, man. That's a serious call. You know what you're saying, right?
I know what I'm saying. He's done. He's done. I'm comfortable saying he's done now. And I never thought he was done. It's the last move.
I did not see this coming. I did not see that coming.
He dropped a petition.
Okay. Let's talk about it.
And proceed. Okay. Losing a battle is not worthy of ending a career unless you never had a name.
It depends. Yeah, it depends.
Unless if you cannabis, yes. Ja Rule didn't lose a battle. That's not how Ja Rule went out. You know what I'm saying? Like Ja Rule went out bad in other ways. He lost a war. It's different. Drake could have won the war, but all his moves post battle was trash. You know what I'm saying? And that's what messed him up. But what really hurt him, and I say he said what?
He spazzed out, emotionally spazzed out.
He spazzed out, yeah, emotionally spazzed out. And he lost because I now realize I thought that Drake maybe, I used to listen to his music and be like, he's a good artist, but why do so many people like this? Like, so about 35% of his music, I'd be like, that's good. And then the other 65, I'd be like, why do so many people like this music? I could never understand it. Like, and now I realize during the course of the battle that he had the support of his constituents, the Jewish brigade. You know what I'm saying? And I think they really pushed him to be at the forefront of hip hop. I never understood how you could go on like a 15-year run on top for that long in hip hop because it had never been done. Year after year. Then I realized, okay, you got the support of the business. The business backs you. You know what I mean? Like, because we come across other people who were really good at making hooks. And we've come across other people that were really good rappers, but they never last that long on top. So in order for him to last that long on top, you getting a lot of support. It's a lot of people to hold you up. You can't do it without the support of the people. And at some point, the support made him so powerful that he became the hit maker to go to. And I don't think it's because his pen was so much more deadly than people of the past who had good pens. He had the support. So what happens is he went in what did they say? You bite the hand that feeds you. He bit the hand that fed him through attacking the label. And at that point, he tried to put records out. He couldn't get no momentum with it. So once he had the petition. So now he dropped his last song and the label said, get that, give me that back. That's coming off the internet. Snatched it, which let me know, oh, they ain't gonna let him drop no music. Drake is shelved right now in the meantime. That was during the petition. He was shelved during the petition. We ain't put no momentum behind your music. You're dropping it independently and it still ain't catching no momentum, which is to let you know you need the machine. He needed the machine. Yeah. He didn't realize he needed it. He tried having his own little website where he dropped 100 gigs worth of content. It had a little bit of attention and then just blew right on by.
I think that was more of a bad look in my opinion. But anyway.
Ultimately another misstep. So drops the petition and turns it into a lawsuit, officially a lawsuit. So now you don't have the label back. That's cool. You can still make it work. You won't be A-list, top of the food chain anymore that way. But what do people do when they don't get the support of the label? What did the South do when they didn't have the support of the label? What did the Jay Princes do? What did Percy Millers and Master P and No Limit do? What did the Birdman, Baby, and Slims of the world do when they didn't have the support? They went independent, built their name. Now today we don't sling it out the trunk no more. Today is a little different. You know what I'm saying? You work the internet. You have to go the independent route that way. And part of working the internet is working the people on the internet. Media's changed. I don't have to work the radio no more. Right. Now I got to work streamers and I got to work the people who are reacting to music and these things. But instead of working that angle, which he had some relationships with, I've seen him doing videos and skits and stuff with people. But after the battle, when he came out in the lawsuit, he decided to burn that bridge also. And that was his final bridge. And when I realized he burned his final bridge, I said, he's burned every bridge around him. It started with, okay, he burned the bridge with the players in the game, first of all. That's how we ended up in the battle. What's this, a 20v1? That's because you burned the bridge with the players in the game. So now they all tagged up against you. They don't want to kill you no more.
They're ganging up.
You burn the game, you burn the bridge with the actual game, which is the business, the machine. Yeah. And then you burned the game,
record labels.
You burned the bridge with the fans, which is the reactors and the streamers. There's no other pieces to go to.
Yeah.
How do you survive?
Not just the fans, but the fans who influence the fans, which is the even bigger draw. So I don't know if you said it outright exactly, but yes, you sent me something this morning that says Drake is suing people like reaction videos and people and the bloggers and the vloggers or whatever, those people who go on and actually push the content of media to the masses.
Yes.
So the fans who influence the fans, which is almost
hype it up. Ooh, this is great.
Yeah. Yes. Like your what's young boy's name? Kai Cenat or whatever. Like he's like huge with the fans. And his play when he plays to the media and does his reactions, or even academic, which is he still has Drake's side for now. We'll see how that plays out. You know what I'm saying?
Academics, I seen a stream with Kai Cenat and Academics in it, and Kai called Academics to ask him what's up with this, what's the word with it, and explained it and said, "I'm gonna be honest with you though, I don't like that move. It looks like you hating on that on the streamers with that move. We all ate, and it looks like you mad. Like, hey, why are they making money with us? Is how it looks, and that's out of Academics' mouth. He said Drake looked like, why are you letting them make money with us? And it looks like a hater move. So he don't like it, but that's still his man. But you beginning to burn another bridge.
Burn another bridge.
Slowly but surely.
So and not understanding that when you attack those people who are feeding the fans or influencing the fans, again, you're biting the hand that feeds you. Those reaction videos and people who are reacting to videos who are hyping it up, they're influencing the people who are gonna stream your music, who's gonna stream the record over and over and over and over again, who's ultimately gonna feed you. So you're biting the hand that feeds you yet again.
And he don't realize it. He don't realize how bad he played this. And that's why I say he's done, because you have nowhere to go. You're a man with no home now. And you're not hot enough to withstand that. You know what I'm saying? Because right now you're down into people's eyes. The public is looking at you like, he's corny, he's this, he's that. You're going to have to eat that for the next year until something comes out to prove that you're not. But all your moves are proving that you are. And now the influencers are saying that you are also. And those are the people that were going to pull you out of it. All you needed was the right record, and they would have saved you. Now they don't want to save you. So you're going to have to sit. And if you sit for more than a year, you're done in this game.
Especially in this day and age, you sit down for a year plus, gone and forgotten, and then also the tide changes. And once you get so far behind the tide, And I think what's helped Drake is the fact that he was able to ride the tide year after year after year. But after you sit out for a while, you know what I'm saying? Just like a sports player who catches an injury and they come back and it's never the same. They never able to resurrect their career the same way that it was. That's gonna be Drake. He's emotionally injured right now. He has a torn ACL emotionally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think
he got a torn Achilles emotionally.
Emotionally, bro. And I think, but he always had that. But now, and he did a fantastic job of, as the eras switched over, of switching into a new person in the next era, where the new era of people didn't know he was a nerd. And now he's resorting back to who he is in his core, which is a nerdy little kid. He looks like the little nerdy kid.
A lot of these fans in this generation don't even remember Drake without the beard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They don't.
With the part in his head, you know what I mean?
But that kid never left. And now we're seeing who he really is. And I think he's gonna have to sit out for at least 3 years, man. I think he's gonna have to sit out for at least 3. He can start trying to drop music in the 3rd to 4th year, and then I think maybe the 4th year, best case, he can start touring. But I think that it's gonna be too fresh the first 2 years. People ain't gonna hear.
But then,
and he ain't gonna have the labels help yet either. The label forgive him.
Sound's gonna change too much. And then also keep in mind, a lot of Drake's sound is not an authentic Drake sound. It's not him. From my vantage point, from what I've seen, how I break down his career and a lot of his sounds whenever he creates his records. He gets those sounds from other people, and then just like the actor that he is, he turns into that character and becomes that sound or whatever he got it from. Now, if nobody feeds him the sound anymore, what's he gonna do? Because you're biting the hand that feeds you. So guess what? Everybody that you've been able to get a sound from, whether it was The Weeknd or whether it was Party Next Door or whoever it is that you, Bryson Tiller,
Lil Yachty.
whatever it was, Yachty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're biting styles, and you're Quentin Millers. You're getting sound and styles and rap cadences and things from other individuals who are allowing you to take their music and make it whatever you make it. And now they're not going to feed you anymore. Now you're not going to be in on the in crowd of what makes you hot because you're crashing out emotionally.
Yeah. And in another year or so, another year and a half, maybe, he'll be 40. What young kid's gonna want to get with Unc and make Unc cool with the youth again? You know what I'm saying?
You got Unc who don't know he Unc.
Unc that don't know he Unc. And the youth start looking at you different before you start looking at yourself different. So the youth is already like, when they found out he a lame, they gonna look at him like a lame. You know what I'm saying? Like they gonna it's different. So that's why I say he's gonna be able to come back in a few years and tour off his old stuff, but he's gonna have to be like how you see like Mario and people like that who's still singing, you should let me love you and stuff. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to come back off your old stuff.
Gotta bring out the classics, man. Gotta blow the dust off the records.
You have to blow the dust off your records and eat off your catalog, and you're gonna have to do it with your age bracket is what's gonna happen. Them concerts gonna look a little different moving forward. You're gonna have a different demographic in there, but that's the only way I see him surviving. And he gonna take a break. Now, when I say he's done, I'm not saying financially. I think he gonna still stream his records and people still gonna play the old stuff. He just ain't gonna have no new. He ain't gonna have no new record, no new heat out there. So all that's done. He's done with new records moving forward. He gonna live off his old catalog like most artists do at this age. So,
well, you heard it here. You heard it here on the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. You calling it. You calling it. So I'm ready to see how this plays out, what's going to be the outcome. And definitely I feel like what's going to put the nail in his coffin emotionally is when Kendrick takes that stage at the Super Bowl halftime. I feel like emotionally he's gonna malfunction and it's over with. After that, finish your move.
So before we exit this segment, do you see an outcome that he can remain how he was in 2023 prior to the battle? In 2024?
I mean, it's always a possibility. For one, the way people receive individuals or they cancel individuals is finicky in 2025 for me. I don't know where the minds of the mass culture are. I don't know. But it does feel like he's walking down the path of being written off. He's getting very close to it. He's at the edge. But of course, everybody's one hot song away, one hot trendy song away. And if he can find a way to get back into the good graces of people who are going to push his music out, like you said, he still has a fan base. He still has a large fan core. And all it takes is for somebody to say, yeah, that's hot, and people to jump on the bandwagon. We live in that type of culture where people have a hard time thinking for themselves. Now in 2025, we did say weird behavior is kind of like out the door, and we're calling it and we're shutting that down. Yeah. But you never know. Still never know.
I agree with your logic, but the only thing that makes it hard for me to see that ever coming is because the label. He beefing with his label.
Yeah. Yeah.
If he drops a hot song,
he don't own his name. I'm pretty sure he don't own his name.
He's not. He's a worker. He's a worker. They ain't gonna let him get so much momentum before they pull it off of social media. They start flagging videos and they shelf the song. Like, so.
That's it, bro. That's it. Yeah. A lot of locked doors. No more locked doors.
A lot of locked doors to face, man. He got a lot to over. He got more to overcome than the average artist. You know, a new artist has a better chance of breaking a record than Drake does right now. You know, in the position he's in, unfortunately.
Yeah. Made his bed.
But
made his bed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's rich though, man. He'll be fine, man. He's gonna continue to live a rich life for many, many years. Let's get into these cigars.
He's like what LeBron said about his son. His son doesn't really need to play basketball. It's not like he needs the money. Did you hear that?
Yeah. I didn't hear it, but I believe it. It sounds very LeBron-like. So
yeah, man. So what we smoking today, man? What we smoking? What we got?
Man, I got this little pretty band that I know ain't gonna show up.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that Hoya de Nicaragua. I got a Cinco de Cinco. The band is beautiful on this thing. I wish you could see it. I don't know. You can kind of see the glare on how that shine is on that, but it's a pretty little thing.
What's Cinco de Cinco? 55? 55?
Yeah, and on the side, it's got from year 1968 to 2023.
Okay.
Let me give you some specs on this real quick. We got a Mexican San Andreas wrapper. We got Nicaraguan origin and binder and filler also Nicaraguan. And this price point on this, let me let you know that, you know, this one is.
What we smoking? Where we at?
$20.50. $20.50. Robusto Gordo is the size for the nerds who care about that.
Hey, look, man, we've been smoking. We've been smoking premium, top shelf, 20 and up. I never thought we'd be here consistently like this, but yet and still here we are. We're doing it. let's hope it smokes like that. But hey, look, man, shout out to Hoya. It made your top 5, correct?
Box also. Yeah, it
Box
did.
Press. So Hoya did make your top 5. So I'm really interested in seeing where it was number 5. Where this kind of lands along how you feel about Hoya. Like, are they changing the tide for you as far as how you're starting to view Hoya de Nicaragua cigars? So let's see where this goes. All right, so for me, man,
Maestras.
I'm smoking the that La Aurora actually. Actually, looking at the band, it's La Aurora.
Yeah.
The Corojo. We have a Dominican wrapper, Dominican origin.
Hold on, bro. Hold on, bro.
Dominican. What's up?
Hold up, bro.
Oh, what's up?
That P word for me, though, man. Say the P word.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing
it, man. I'm reading it. Say that.
I almost.
You started over Aurora.
I almost didn't even put it in
this one up.
I was gonna leave it out the description on the screen. I was like, you know what? Let me do the cigar justice so people know exactly what I'm smoking. But I'm not even gonna try it. Preferiadios. There we go.
There you go.
Wrong still.
You did, but you put the I in the wrong place. But it's all good though. It sounded good.
Just gotta let it roll off the tongue, man. Let it roll off the tongue. But yeah, I'm smoking that gold. So I showed this cigar off in the last episode. So this is the one I'm smoking. They come in different colors: the emerald, the ruby, the black, sapphire, all those different colors. I'm smoking the gold today. And again, this one was priced at $29. $29.
Woo. Pretty little gold thing.
Mm-hmm.
She shaped
like so far so good. Yeah. Got that little you know what I'm saying? It's the like the perfecto type of shape. You know, when you see the cartoons and my buddy, he's smoking a cigar.
It's always that shape.
Yeah. This is what we doing. It's what we doing.
See?
I had a little round.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we smoking today, man. And so far so good. So far so good. I'm not mad about what I'm smoking. Only thing I am concerned about is we've been lit for 20 minutes and this bad boy is burning fast.
Oh yeah.
Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. You gotta rush. Come on, little baby. Yeah, so hey, we know that the inauguration is coming up in a couple of days. By the time you get this episode, inauguration should be happening in like a couple of hours. Or right up on it. And mixed emotions how we feel about the presidency. I wasn't fond of any other candidates that we had that was going after it. So not a Trump guy by any stretch of the imagination, and wasn't a I can't even remember her name, vice president.
Ah man, come on, man.
Kamala. How you say it?
Come on.
Kamala?
Nah, man, you sound like a Trump
Vice President
right
Harris.
now, man. Come on, man.
Vice President Harris.
Come out, man. Stop admitting it, man. He in office now. You can own it, man.
No, I'm not, I am not a Trump guy. I am not a Trump guy, but I am a big proponent of money. I like to make some money. So the way I looked at the whole election, I think we spoke about this back in the day when the whole election was going down, is trying to figure out where do you fit in with what's going on. All right, I don't like either one of these people who are really trying to take the reins as the president, but at the same time, I got to figure out where do I fit in with the whole thing. Where can I take advantage for me and my family? What's going to be the most advantageous route to take? Not necessarily in favor of one president or the other, but what are the effects? And if either one becomes the president, how do I fit in to take advantage of the situation? Instead of complaining about it, figure out how do I map out how to take advantage of it. And the big advantage for Trump, in my opinion, is the tide of money. Money is going to move. It has moved. It's been moving, and it's going to be moving even faster. I'm talking about this thing's going to be on a bullet train, in my opinion. Yeah. My prediction, right? And I had this prediction before the election happened. And I'm not one of those guys who give people financial advice, right? This is not financial advice. Only whatever they be saying. I'm doing a video. This is my financial advice. But I was at work, man, like a couple days before the inauguration. I'm saying I like to kind of like put out little nuggets, like drop little things, and kind of leave hints for people. I'll do that. I'll leave hints. And I'm like, the inauguration gonna be a big thing. You know, might want to look into. You might want to. And sure enough, the day before the election, and then the day of, and the night after, or the night of and the day after, things took off. Money started moving like crazy. The sentiments for stocks and cryptocurrencies, just the whole idea of things, the tides just really started to shift. Man.
I was able to get out of a few plays I've been holding on to for way too long.
Years, right? It's like, yo, come on. So you were more so with the fact of, hey man, let me break even, reassess, and figure out what's what.
My exit right now. This is my exit time.
So hey, look, my whole thing is just to say this: that whichever way you play the coin politically, you know what I mean, no matter what candidate you liked or how unhappy you are with the outcome, it's time to look to figure out what you can do for yourself. And looking into how the crypto market, stock market, different securities, things in here and there, how they're shaping up, it's going to be big. Inauguration day, and you can book it today. Whenever you hear this message, that things are going to change. It's going to be a big change.
Oh yeah, man. I definitely believe so, man. And I think that is the best advice that you can give anybody, without it being necessarily financial advice, but just the advice of, regardless of who's in office, find your angle for how you can win during that time. Too many people are far too married to their party, their political parties, and they're too hung up in my guy got to get in, and if they don't get in, woe is me. And it's like, well, life is gonna go on regardless of who gets in. You know what I mean? So like, adjust and adapt. And okay, what are they pushing? What's their narrative? What's their political angle? How can I find a benefit to me in that? So I like where you went with that. I feel like that's it for the rest of all of our lives. People need to follow that advice. And yes, I expect a lot of money to move, man. Also with Trump in office, man. So we just got to look forward to seeing how it plays out, and hopefully it does play out in a more of a positive way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We can all make some money off of it if possible, man. Get something out of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how you feel about the guy. Get something out of it.
Hey,
because he's a money guy. That's his thing.
He's a money guy.
He gonna want to make some money, so he gonna set up stuff for the money to be made. And yes, the guys at the top might get the bulk of that, but get your piece off of the pie, man.
That's one thing I was gonna mention too, right there. Is so many people are fixated on the top making that top dollar. They're gonna get their money, and you know what? Regardless of how it goes, either way, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna get their money. They're gonna find a way.
Regardless of who got in, they was gonna eat. They was gonna eat more than us, regardless.
Regardless, and so many people get caught up on that as far as the rich getting richer. And I think I mentioned this a few episodes back. Is that the whole poor mentality? Is the fact that we can't think past where we are as far as how do we get to that next level, because we're so fixated on the high ups making that top dollar and us getting our pennies, or getting those pennies moved around to where we can't figure it out because we're so fixated on how many billions that these corporations and companies are actually banking in.
Yeah.
But then you're forgetting about yourself.
How do you fit? It's way too much. Hey, look,
can't pocket watch. Can't pocket watch. If you pocket watching, your pockets ain't growing.
Exactly, man. I'm gonna say this: the quote is not "the rich get richer when the Republicans in office." The quote is "the rich getting richer." You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna happen regardless of who in office. They didn't say depending upon this. There's no additional line to that. You know what I'm saying? They gonna get their money. Accept it, move on, man. You know, get yours. Get yours.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, that's exactly what I wanted to say. Accept it. Accept what is going on. Accept them getting their money, and just figure out how can you get yours until you can get to that next level, and then get yours in that level. And then you get to the next level and then get yours in that level. Stop playing to those below you. You know what I'm saying? Of course, you want to help people out as you go along the way, but you can't be concerned with what's up here and what's down there. You got to focus in and lock in on what do you have available to you, and what can you take advantage of where you are in your space and time. Understanding that. And once you understand that, that's how you get to that next level, that next step up, the next step up.
Yeah, man.
Can't be bitter. Can't be bitter. Can't be bitter.
Can't be bitter. It's a waste of time, man. Waste of focus. Waste of focus. If you focus on bitter energy, you're gonna, that's all you got time for is that. You ain't gonna never get nothing else, man. So I appreciate you saying that for people that needed to hear that. And it'll go through one ear out the other for most, but the person that needed to hear it, they'll get it and they'll do something with it, hopefully.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So like, even when I say that, I'm talking a lot about what we talked about earlier today about Drake. What we talk about with these money moves is I'm seeing a time frame in life right now in this day and age where emotions are at an all-time high. Emotionally. Yeah. Men and women, young and old. So this day and age, from my standpoint of what I'm seeing, it doesn't have an age on it. It doesn't have a gender on it. Before we might have seen a certain age bracket, and then a certain gender demographic who are your emotional,
yeah.
You're more emotional.
They're typically the emotional ones, yeah.
Yeah. Your practical, normal, what you would think would be your demographic for the emotional population. But now I'm seeing this across the board, man. I'm talking about from young, preteen, all the way up to 50, 60 plus year old grown men.
Yeah.
Who can't get out their emotions, man. Who can't get out their emotions. So my whole angle where I want to take this right here is where are we seeing simp behavior in 2025? This is what I'm calling it simp behavior. I'm calling it simp behavior. I don't like it. I don't like the super heightened emotional, and I don't want to say this to sound like I'm emotionally disconnected or insensitive, but I'm seeing way too much simp behavior across the board, across demographics, man, and it's blowing my mind. I can't function. I'm having a hard time functioning.
I mean, continue cooking, man. Keep going. I mean,
all right. So I'm gonna start on a personal level. I'm gonna start on a personal level first. So, of course, I'm in the military, and I can't say, I'm not saying you can't have emotions in the military, but when you get to the point of dealing with trainees, like I'm dealing with in my population of trainees, and on several occasions throughout the last few days, I've had certain individuals like literally just sit there and just break down crying. Like I'm in the middle of training them and testing them so they can graduate, go to the next level. And I'm literally having people just stopping what they're doing. They're being evaluated to train to go on and progress in their career and just break down crying. And I'm looking at them like, come on, man. Come on, do something. Like you're just gonna sit there and cry. You're training to become a soldier of the United States Army, and we're sitting here just bawling out in tears. We get emotional. And this is not females, this is not men, this is not young, this is 30-year-old males, 18-year-old females, 25-year-old females, males, whatever. Like it's
a range of people
across the board. It's a range, it's a wide range. So emotional.
Let me ask you this. From your point of view, right? You've been doing the military thing for a while now, and we'll go even before the military. Let's go with the full scope of your life, probably from high school, 14 on up. Is this the most you've seen people be emotional throughout any of these different eras of life?
Yes. Yes.
Like seeing people cry. Like how often did you ever see people? I don't remember girls in high school crying that often. Like, you know, every once in a while it would happen, but it was even they try to tough it out. Like, so I don't remember. That's puberty girls. You know what I'm saying? Like what you would think would be at a heightened emotional. Yeah.
I'm seeing it too much, man. I'm seeing it too much. I don't remember seeing this when I first joined, before I was joined, you know what I'm saying, in college, before, like, it's just at an all-time insane rate. Not saying that you can't cry, not saying you can't have, I'm not saying this, but I'm just saying, like, it's blowing my mind. The way that people are taking things and ingesting it and then responding to it.
Let me be a simp right now. Mm-hmm. Is it possibly just good though that they get it out? You know what I'm saying? Because we all held it in, and usually that's what the breakdown happens. At some point, you have one big breakdown, and then you move on from it. So is it good that they just, to avoid a meltdown, just I let it out in the moment, I'm done with it, I move on?
To me, that is the meltdown. That is the meltdown. You didn't avoid the meltdown. You are in the meltdown.
Okay.
So like I cry. I have a good cry. I do. Yes, I have emotions. Okay. But when I do, say cat. I know when to do it. I know when's the appropriate time. I know how, where, and over what. You know what I'm saying?
You do the boys in the hood when you cry?
I might crash out. You know what I'm saying? I might, yes. But it's about the manner of how you do it, though. You know what I'm saying? And then what do you say? Do you get on these blogs, or do you make all these videos and you're so emotional about what somebody's doing over here, and then this and that, and you get on your Twitter, your X, and you're saying these things, and it's just, it becomes, it's overwhelming, and it's pouring out over too much. Like, bro, like, grab your ball sack in a moment and let's just keep rocking. Then go in the corner and cry later. He gonna cry in the car. Hey, look, on Friday when Red got
Red had it right. Red-headed, right?
He gonna cry in the car. You know what I'm saying? He probably cried in the car.
Yeah,
cry in the car.
Yeah, Red did the right thing.
Drake,
Why
go
are we
cry in the
clowning on
car.
him?
Elliot Wilson, go cry in the car. Meek Mill, go cry in the car. Go cry in the car. Soldier Medic, as I'm grading you, go cry in the car. You know what I'm
we
saying?
On that 2025. That's the new mantra. Go cry in the car.
Go cry in the car. You know what I mean?
Put that on a shirt, boy.
You know what?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, on the shirt. Nobody
Red being the one to run.
Nobody steal this now. Go cry in the car. Put it on a t-shirt.
Man. The worst one of all is the one where they set the phone up in the corner and then go cry on camera. You seen those?
Yes.
You seen those before?
Yes. The little breakdown videos. Yes.
Yeah, where people had the breakdowns and they just record themselves.
Like that's a cool thing. Like that's I'm gonna show people of me crying and being like, I'm saying don't be vulnerable, right? Because we can only grow when we are vulnerable, right? You have to have those moments to avoid the meltdown, but people are confusing the meltdown, in the moment, and like just how I feel like you explained it. I think, no, that is the meltdown. No, Drake, you are in the meltdown. No, Elliot Wilson, you are in the meltdown. No, Meek Mill, no, you are in the meltdown. Like, no, that's the meltdown. You're not avoiding the meltdown by getting the good cry out, because that is the meltdown. You're doing it at the wrong moment, in the wrong fashion, with the wrong outlets, to the wrong people. You know what I mean?
So essentially, there are too many meltdowns, is what you're saying. You're not anti-meltdown, but it's too many meltdowns. I'm not yet. And in the wrong environment.
It's gonna help. A meltdown is gonna happen. I've had my meltdowns in public. I have. I'm not gonna act like I haven't. But at the same time, it's just too many, too often, at an alarming rate. And I'm saying there's simp behavior behind this. It is. And I hate to take that stance, but I feel like in this whole thing, I feel like since we got to 2025, it's all about how I feel like we're shaping up to kind of hopefully shift in 2025. Because prior to now, you know what I'm saying, you go back maybe 7, 8, 9, maybe 10 years, we wanted to teach emotional availability, emotional awareness, go seek counselors and all that stuff. And that became like the it thing. It became it thing, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to a therapist, go get your emotions out. But now I think we've hit a peak, and it's spilling out into every aspect of life, whether it's on a job, whether it's in the home, whether it's in media, whether it's in sports, in music. It's like there's no parameters of how we're displaying it. It's like all over the place. It's scattered. And I'm not liking it.
It's an issue that we have in society, man. And for me, I think balance is everything. And balance is not taught. And far too often we're way out of balance as a society in our thought processes. So in social media doesn't help that, because once a wave starts, everybody jumps on that wave. And it's like, well, you still need people to even this out on the other end. For every person that's overly emotional, you need something to balance it. Somebody who's, not to say they're lacking emotion, but they're more minimal in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you can't have a relationship that works. The household can't have both both adults in the household emotional, or both no emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we gotta find some type of balance in it, whether both of them are balanced or one is able to help the other get through it and one's able to help one show emotion, but as a society, it's like we this generation, this era in human history, we love just canceling out the past. And it's like, no, you don't need to cancel certain things from the past. We just need to find a way to incorporate this other thing also. You know what I'm saying? So if we on our emotional tip, let's not get rid of not being strong. Let's just find a balance between the two. Like, let's have both in it now. Yeah. And maybe in past eras we didn't have no emotion, but now we have too much. And it's like
too much.
The balance is missing.
Yeah, let's kind of consolidate this and compress it a little bit to where we get a healthy dose of each aspect. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole idea when I said scent behavior is because I feel like that is spilling over into becoming scent behavior. Not saying because you're emotional is scent behavior, but I'm just saying once you get to that point, how do you respond after you get to that point? And I feel like the way that we've been seeing that at a all-time high rate is we're jumping into scent. Like it's too many people I see on these blogs, and I think it might come from, like you said, social media, and then also with social media, so many people have access to content and be able to create their content. Like you mentioned, people putting the camera in the corner and crying, or people getting on these podcasts and letting out way too much of their thought processes to where people are saying too much. Maybe it's at all-time high display is what I'm seeing. Maybe I don't know. And then access to be able to get those emotions out are at an all-time high. You have too many avenues to express your emotions.
Yeah.
That now it's becoming that. Like DJ Academics, and he got into his emotions about the whole LeBron and Drake thing, and he crashed out. Is that not scent behavior? That's scent behavior. That's too much.
Let me ask you this. Do you think between these two, do you think it's an emotional reaction garners more attention and we're in an attention era? Or do you think it's like with these older guys that some of them never had the opportunity to express themselves and now they're really becoming enamored with finally being able to share their feelings truthfully? And you know what I'm saying?
You might have cracked the code on two different things, and both can be true at the same time. I feel like both can be true at the same time, because when you said the first one, that caught my attention because that is the case. But then now, if you dig deeper into it, that second point could very well much so be the case now. Before it wasn't comfortable to let it out, or you didn't have the ability. You know what I'm saying? Pops wasn't trying to hear nothing. But now I got this camera I can go talk to, and I can go cry to this camera. And that's like me talking to my daddy, and daddy, I'm crying. You know what I'm saying? I'm crying out now.
You getting all that out that you held in for 30 plus years or 40 years. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just all pouring out too often, and you become comfortable doing this because you held it in. You know, so this is what people do. When people finally had enough of something, they'll be like, they try to make up for all what they didn't do in the past. So if people were bullied, then when they're in the future, they'll never allow themselves to be bullied again. They fight everything. You know what I'm saying? It could be something to that effect. I held this in, I'll never hold it in again. But you still need to hold some in. You know what I'm saying? But now you went too extreme. You went from one extreme to the other, and people tend to do that.
And you know what? That's a good point. And it doesn't
excuse it, but
it doesn't. I was gonna say it doesn't exclude those people who are on certain stages, like certain musicians or certain journalists and athletes or whatever. So now they have this happening. Like it doesn't exclude anybody because everybody's a human. Everybody has these experiences. Everybody had to grow up through life, and there's a lot of things that shape them who they are. And they've had their experiences, but they couldn't express those experiences along the way. But now we have an all-time high access to people and to things, and now they're at that breaking point to where now I got to get it out, and now I'm not going to hold this in, and then then it's acceptable. But I am nervous, man. I'm nervous. Is it going to end here, or is it gonna keep heightening? We got to put a limit to it. I think it is. I'm scared.
I don't think it's going to continue to heighten. And you know what makes me comfortable with saying that? I had my own conclusion recently that I came to, like an epiphany of sorts. Things do move in cycles. Things move in cycles.
Okay, true.
We're going to get back to some old ways eventually. We will. But it just feels like this one ain't going to stop because we're in it. But we haven't even been in it for 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So we'll do about a decade of this, and then things will go back to the old way. Basketball will go back to the old way eventually. Like, you know what I'm saying? What? It's been 6 years maybe. Everything will go back. Music will go back. You know what I'm saying? Like
you would hope. Only thing I would have to
be influenced by its past still. Don't get me wrong. It will be influenced by the generation before it, but it will show some old school ways to it.
I just feel like maybe the conditions are too different now. than in 1980 for it to fully go back to the way things
No, it
were.
ain't gonna look like 80 again. That's done. But it will.
Conditions have changed.
They will. Yes, that's why I say it's gonna be influenced by this era. Will still leave its fingerprint on when they go back. Is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So like, it's gonna look like this time frame. You'll see the remnants of this time frame on it. It'll have this time frame residue, but at the same time, they're gonna kind of go back to some old ways. Even in fashion, right? They're dressing like the 80s and stuff. Mustache, no beard, with the little, you know, high shorts, booty shorts, and high socks and stuff. But it's got a modern look to it. You know what I'm saying? They got the dad shoes and stuff, but it's looks like the 80s, but a modern version of it. They'll do a modern version of the old days, like. Basketball will still be shooting. They not gonna shoot as many threes, but they still gonna be carrying the ball and breaking rules. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's gonna be an ugly game, a hard game to watch. It is a hard game to watch.
Not as ugly as the day. Not as ugly as the day though. Not as ugly as the day. The mid range will come back, you know, and other stuff, but they probably will still be scoring.
Bring back the Dream Shake, man. Bring back the Dream Shake. Give me some post play. But I don't know, man. I just think maybe conditions might be a little bit too far, man, because you're getting way too much influence. And once influence, it's like inflation. You'll never go back to prices in the 80s and the early 2000s and 90s or whatever. I think we've had too much inflation. That, okay, you might have a regression of it in a sense, but not too much that is going to make a noticeable difference, maybe. That's my concern. Like you might have that cycle, but it might not cycle all the way back. It might look like more of a figure eight than a true full cycle back.
That's what I expect.
We didn't make it all the way back around.
More of a figure eight. I don't think we're gonna make it all the way back around. I don't think you can make it all the way back around because it's done. You know what I'm saying? But I think as people begin to get fed up with it because it got too extreme, they'll go. They'll switch. Yeah. Like you're seeing people now are becoming more pushback against the government than ever. Yeah. But in the past, we were all help us, save us. You know what I'm saying? Our government is. Yeah. Now you're starting to see people go back to days where it was a little anti-government. And that's a cycle of times. In the past, people was kind of like, hey, man, we don't want the government all in our business. People are starting to get back to that time because we're getting frustrated. When it becomes too extreme, people get frustrated. It's the early stages of people being tired of cancel culture. You starting to hear whispers.
Yeah. People are cancel culture is about to be a thing of the past, and I'm so glad. So glad. Come on, let people get back to saying
we'll get back to some humor. We'll get back to some crude comedy, but it won't. But now we know we can't. We shouldn't go but so far because we learned from cancel culture that we need to respect other people's feelings, but we won't be as uptight. Is what I think.
What I did like about cancel culture is cancel culture forced people to mask how they truly felt about things.
Yeah.
And that is a scary place to be because how do I know how to approach somebody, a situation, space and time if they are not free to fully express how they feel? If you're a bigot, I want to know that you're a bigot. Yeah. So by all means, don't cancel the bigot so I can know that he's a bigot. Simple as that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to waste my time in his face faking it.
Yeah, exactly. It's forcing people to fake. And I hope we go back to getting rid of cancel culture. No, let people be who they are so that I can see who they are. But now let's figure out how we can manage it and govern it so people don't go too far with it. But I need to know how people are. I need to know what to expect out of somebody because they're not afraid to get canceled by saying how they feel or acting on how they feel. As long as it's not criminal, by all means, call me whatever name you want to call me, so I know who you are. Simple as that.
Yeah, most definitely. So I think we're moving into that, man. You mentioned a name earlier. I want to shift back to that. You mentioned Elliott Wilson multiple times, man. And what was the reasoning for mentioning him?
Because he's exhibiting simp behavior at this very moment.
He's an example of someone who doesn't know that times change, right?
Times have changed, yes. Like so hold on, got my cigar. All right, I'm back. But so for those who don't know who Elliott Wilson is, he's a journalist. XXL magazine, if I'm not mistaken, a couple other spots he used to put his pen and make his opinions known through journalism, and he's in his emotions and feelings about other people having the avenue and the ability to speak to the masses, get into that journalism realm, and not understanding, hey, look, times have changed. People are able to tap into certain industries who might not have been in the industry or had to go through certain avenues to get in the industry. Not saying they weren't interested in it, but maybe they didn't have the right avenue, or it wasn't the right time and space for them to get into that avenue. But now he's mad at other people because they have a platform and a path to get into his arena, and he's not happy about it. And he's kind of not necessarily lashing out, but he's definitely exhibiting some emotional behavior behind people actually being able to have a platform and then speak their opinions, however they see fit to approach speaking out their feelings and their journalism aspect. Whether it's a Shannon Sharpe or Cam and Mace on their sports podcast, he's mad at it. Joe Budden, he can go talk about music and things that's going on in the world because he was a rapper, but he doesn't fit that traditional form of journalism.
Yeah,
and he's mad about it.
For it. And worked in the newspaper and worked his way up to owning some type of published material. Yeah, man. I think that a lot of that Elliot's going through is he feels entitled to a position that he's not receiving. You know what I mean? He feel like I put the work in and I should be heralded as this top figure in media. And for me, I look at it from the point of view, Elliot, man, you did a magazine. You typed up your words, you wrote articles and stuff. That was your voice. So go make your blog, and that's your voice. But to be jealous of people who actually are using their speaking voice and speaking directly to the people, that's not your media you're from. So really, in reality, you're stepping into a media that's foreign to you also.
To you, yes,
so
absolutely.
How would you hypocritical at this point to be upset that other people are stepping into these worlds also and making more progress than you? And the progress they're making is because the people are connecting to them ultimately. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're using their fame before this and people are interested in what they might have to say coming out of that world, I mean, that just come with the territory. Some people put it from the ground and other people, you know, got a little springboard. They got a springboard. You can't be mad at it.
Which is anybody in any industry or whatever. If somebody has a stair step up from me and they're able to get into a certain industry because they got that stair step up, that's life. That's life, man. It don't matter if that's McDonald's. Hey, because my aunt, she's the manager, so she got me in this position working. I got to go past having new fries. I can go straight to the cashier because my aunt's the manager of McDonald's. Guy on the fries is mad. You know what I'm saying? I know somebody. I'm sorry. I'm on the register. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's like in any industry. So dudes like Elliot, you can't be mad because Cam and Mace put their work in for 20 plus years, building relationships in the industry, meeting sports figures, and they had an interest in sports. Where Shannon Sharpe, who's 20 plus years in sports and media, and then decides to make this shift into the podcast world. Hey, look, it's life. It's life. You take advantage of where you are, and he could have did the same thing. You got an advantage over the next young person who wants to get into journalism, as you were already in the magazine. So now, if you know how to translate doing the magazines into making a digital form of that magazine, where you're
doing the same thing, bro. He's using his past in print, in the print world, to get the advantage, to get interviews with artists that a new media person can't get. He just don't realize it. Hey, look, man, you said this a long time ago in defense of Puffy, and you said that Puffy gave a lot of people fame, and it's on you if you can't figure out a way to make some money with that name you got now. These guys are using their fame and they're converting it into income for them in new markets and new ventures and stuff. And you have to just respect it. They're making the most of what they got. You know, Mace could be somewhere broke right now, but instead he's using his namesake to get him $1 million deal in the sports world. He just used what he had.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do the same thing. Whether it becomes like, hey, I was able to make it here doing this, so I'm going to take that money that I made from this industry that I was in and moving and doing something else. That's how you approach life. And I'm sorry that people got to be so emotional that they can't see past it. This is what I'm talking about, simp behavior, and that's the perfect exhibit A of what I'm talking about. Is you can't see past what you're talking about to just take advantage of what you got. So I stop worrying about that other man and what they doing and how they took advantage of their position. Take advantage of your own position. Stop simping and take advantage of your own position.
There you have.
Everybody got something. Do what you can do.
Yeah. All right, man. Let's get into these cigar reviews.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna go ahead and go first because I'm more interested in seeing your take on Hoya de Nicaragua because like I said, a major number 5 cigar. So let's see if they got another cigar in that brand that you love. So I'm interested in it. So here we go.
Okay.
The La Aurora Preferidos.
Oh,
Go.
That's good. That was good. That was good. I like it.
So hey, as far as the tasting notes that I'm getting from this guy, we smoked it down at least until we get to the final third. So we made it through the first third, all the way to the end of the second third. So like I said, this guy smoked a little faster than I would like. I need that 2-hour smoke out of cigars, and I've been spoiled. So I can probably get like maybe another half an hour out of this stick. I'm not happy about how fast it burned down, but as far as the flavors that I got from it, it's a light smoke, very light smoke, nothing too bold or nothing too heavy that's gonna like really sit you down. It's more of one of those chill, maybe morning cigars. I got some cashew type flavors. I got some macadamia nut. It's like you think about your light nuts that you can get like a cashew or a macadamia nut. On top of that, maybe a little bit of oak, slight hint of cocoa and coffee that kind of just falls under that tail end, but keeps it real light. Nothing really bold, nothing that's going to smack you in the face. As far as the construction was pretty decent, I did have to relight maybe twice. Yeah, twice. I had to relight twice, which I'm not happy about. I would think that a cigar that's priced at this point, you should not have to touch it up, or maybe touch it up if you burned it wrong, like how I usually do. I usually toast mine wrong, but maybe a little touch up. But having to relight more than once is it's a no-go for me. I don't like that. Not at almost $30 for a stick. And I kept it very well. I took care of it along the way. I had it since last week, so I only had it for a week. So I don't think it's my era. But overall, I did enjoy it. I would have liked to enjoy it just a little bit more. So will I give this cigar in the 4s? I'm not. I'm not going to give it in the 4s. I'm not going to do it. Only because, and I'm not going to be a prisoner of my expectation. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go off of what I liked and what I disliked. And I wish the flavors were a little bit more bold, a little bit more oomph to it. A little bit more oomph to it. Like I said, it is a chill cigar. It is enjoyable. So we're going to give this a 3.7. 3.7.
3.7 for a $30 stick. Come on, La Aurora. Woo. And I'm only disappointed due to the price point because the score is not a bad score.
Not bad score, yeah.
1.5, 3.7 is not bad, but if you're gonna be at $30, you shouldn't be there. 3.7 is more like 15, 16, and that's in today's climate. You know, back in the day, I would expect it that around 13, 12, 13. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, coming off some really great cigars, man, and this one, it just didn't line up with those really great cigars I've had in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. All right. Well, for me, I had the Hoya de Nicaragua Cinco de Cinco. Right there is where I'm at. This looks like I burned a whole lot more into it than I have. I got a bad burn going there too. But this, I'm just entering my second third, and just entering the second third on this stick in actuality. That might not show in the camera, but that's where I'm at. This stick was a rich stick. I would say the tasting notes are rich. The actual smoke for me felt more medium body than anything. I had a nice creamy smoke, you know, medium body, good aroma that came off of it. I would say my tasting notes that I picked up on, like I said, they were rich. So I picked up on some earthy notes, some woody notes. I picked up on, I would say some licorice type tones in there and a little bit of cocoa.
Okay.
And those are pretty much what I picked up on. I would say I had a fantastic draw on the stick. I'll give them that. The construction, I will knock them a little bit for that as far as my burn, because my burn never evened out. It kind of was always ugly throughout the whole thing. And I did have to relight it. And I'm not known for having a bad burn, so I'm not willing to take credit for it. I could be me being arrogant, but I've managed. Yeah, but I've managed to do well enough where I believe in my ability to keep an even burn. You know what I'm saying? And I never was able to even this out. It never corrected itself. So, and even with me trying to correct it, it didn't do it. So I will dock them for that. From 1 to 5, I actually will put this stick into the 4s, but it's just going to get there at even 4.0.
Okay.
Me. So is this going to be from Hoya de Nicaragua? Is it going to make my top 5 this year? This Cinco? Probably not. I expect to have far more scores, much higher than the 4. And last week I already started off with one much higher than that. So,
okay.
But overall, good cigar. Doesn't do anything to hurt my opinion of Hoya de Nicaragua.
Okay,
if anything, it continues to let me know that they are a good brand and they're doing good things with their cigars. This one, just for me, won't be one of my favorite ones, but another one. Hey man, if you can reach a 4, that's good enough to let me know to come back and continue to buy with you. Because now you had one of my top 5 last year. My next one coming out of that is still a 4. You know what I'm saying? So it's still a great cigar. You know, just doesn't hit the threshold of being one of the high level ones for me, but very good. Yeah, by all means.
Hey, before we get out of here, do you think we're going too fast, too far? Are we with expectation? Our expectations?
No, because I'm not
expectations.
I don't know. I'm not disappointed in this stick. I don't know if I came across disappointed, but I'm not disappointed.
Out of curiosity, just curiosity.
If I crack a 4, I'm happy.
I'm wondering myself. Okay, I'm wondering myself. Like, am I getting too out of character with my expectations? I don't know.
I think today is based off price point, if anything.
Okay.
If I paid 30, I would be disappointed in a 3.7. If I paid 30, yeah. I paid $20.50 for an even 4. You know,
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not mad at that. I'm not going to get caught up in that Placencia costs $20 and I can break 8 or 5 out of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not getting caught up in that. At a 20, maybe that's where a 4 should be at, starting at around the $20 stick. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
That should be the baseline. Should be the baseline.
Maybe.
That should be the baseline. If you are $20 to $30, you should not go below a 4, honestly. And by our grading standards, or rating standards rather. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I say under that understanding, I'm not disappointed. You know what I'm saying? I'm not disappointed.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, of course you always want it higher if you can get higher, but I'm not disappointed. I'm gonna finish this thing. Yeah.
I had to pick your brain on it. Okay. All right.
And I'll go as far as to say this. If I'm at a cigar lounge and that's one of the cigars in there, it would be in my options of ones to choose. Like, you know how you go to the ones and they have a limited stash of what you can pick from when you're at the lounge?
Yeah.
They don't have like a huge humidor. They might have just a wall humidor or something like that. I would be okay with grabbing that if that was one of my choices. You know, they had 20 sticks to choose from and that was one of them. I'd be like, okay, I can go with that.
I gotta get that one. I know I'm gonna have a good time with it. Cool.
I know I can depend on it. Yeah. Put it that way.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hey, man. But that's it for this week's episode of the Cigars and Everything Else podcast. Yeah. Hey, we up out of here, man. Y'all keep y'all sticks up high.
Yeah.
Stop simping.